There's a lot of talk out there about the Great Recession. Um, so it's 2017. We've rebounded economically quite a bit. It does look like things are going to get better. We've just inaugurated President Trump. The economy has gotten better. Under former President Barack Obama, the gross domestic product never got higher than 3%. That's the first time since Herbert Hoover, so 86 years, that a president managed to preside over a country that didn't grow above 3%. But now we have the current president, President Trump, and it does look like the stock markets and the Dow Jones Industrial Average have gone up. So, one thing that I'm really happy about is billionaire investor George Soros, big liberal, big time Hillary Clinton fan. He funded 50 groups that marched in that women's protest march in Washington D.C. that happened last week. So he's kind of a bad guy. He's definitely a bad dude. He bets against countries. He's responsible for the collapse of governments because he has so much money that he can pull strings and basically make economies collapse. So he lost $1 billion betting against America, betting against Donald Trump. And I, for one, am happy to see him lose that money. It's probably not even his money, it's probably somebody else's money. So there's probably a lot of people out there who are hurting, but it's not really hurting him. So, but I am glad that he lost. I'm glad that he did not earn on his bet because he bet against America. So here's what I want to talk to you about. They say there's a recession. It feels like there's kind of 8 years behind us. It's a new breath. It's a new chance. It's a new opportunity. What I want to talk to you about is, has the church receded along with the economy? So a lot of people would say evangelicals don't have the clout that they used to have. We're not respected. We're not in the culture. We're not out in front. We're not leading the way. We're not pushing the envelope. We're not pressing for change. We're just iconoclasts. We're just anachronists and throwbacks. We can be disrespected because we have ideas that are ancient ideas. Just because something is ancient does not mean that it's not good. A lot of the things that we believe in are ancient, like truth and love and caring for one another and giving of ourselves to each other. So these are ancient ideas, but that doesn't mean they're not good ideas. Okay, so that's just an example. But the evangelical recession, it does seem like we have lost our claim on the culture. We've lost our ability to be influencers, to go out and seek and search and save that which has been lost because we are behind. So one of the big problems is we're always fighting a losing battle because we're fighting the enemy on the enemy's ground. The enemy has the ability to make the shots, call the shots, create the terms, and whenever the enemy can do that, it means you're at a disadvantage. So Christians need to get back out in front. We need to be the ones calling the shots. We need to be the ones who set the terms. So that means we need to be the best artist. We need to have the best books. We need to be the most successful business people, have the best families. We need to be individually better than the next guy. And that actually is a witness. That actually is a way to shine and let your light shine. The scriptures are full of blessings and admonitions to the excellent man, the wise man, the man who profits, the man who is godly, the man who sets aside for his neighbor and for giving back to God. So these are all examples of being the best. And I think Christians should be the best, not because being the best is the best thing, but because being the best gives glory to Jesus, and Jesus is the best thing. So it points the finger back at him. So we're supposed to be witness people. We're supposed to be out in front. If the evangelical church and the evangelical movement has receded, then it's receded simply because it's refused to stand out front, be the best, create authors, create painters, create sculptors, create people who make sculptures out of metal, create writers who make stories, create comic books, create kids' cartoons, create television sitcoms, create movies that people actually want to see. So these are the things that I want us to think about as godly culture warriors. Because the culture kind of is in front of, politics follows the culture. Laws follow the culture. people's reactions to our beliefs follows the culture. If the culture sets up a economic and evangelical climate for growth, then that means people will be more willing to hear our message. Now remember, like 60 years ago, 70 years ago, the best movie that had ever been made was Cecil B. DeMille's Ten Commandments. My dad still talks about it. He says it blew him away. There was nothing else like it. The story was great. The acting was great. The special effects were fantastic for what they were all those years ago in the 40s and 50s. And quite frankly, it's a blockbuster. So today, we don't have Christian blockbusters. You know, we have Christian movies, but they're not blockbusters. They're not cutting edge. They're not leading the way. They're not big budget produced movies. You know, the closest thing that we have is something called The Passion of the Christ, Mel Gibson made. And this was like 10 years ago, and it made $1 billion. That's a B. That's not supposed to happen. You know, Christian movies aren't supposed to be that good. They're not supposed to be billion-dollar movies, and they're not supposed to be independent films that are self-produced that make that kind of return. Now, I don't care about the money. I care about the proof of concept. Now, the concept was proved when Mel Gibson made $1 billion film about the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus. So it can be done. Godly Culture Warriors, I want to encourage you to go to godlycultureu.com and sign up for our Shake the World curriculum. If you use promo code that I provide, you will get it for less than $1. You'll get it for $1 for the first month. So that'll be a good place to start. It kind of helps round out what I'm talking about here on this video, and I hope you will do it. godlycultureu.com. Thanks, guys.